humans who lust over books. My name is Sajid and today I'm finally going to be doing a review for Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. Over the past few weeks, you have consistently heard me rant about how much I love this book. So I think it's finally time that I do it justice and finally do a book review. Where'd You Go Bernadette is basically about a 15-year-old girl named Bee and her eccentric mother, Bernadette. Bee, in exchange for doing good in her exams, asks her parents to take her to Antarctica. So they begin planning a trip to Antarctica. But the thing is that Bernadette does not want to go to Antarctica. So eventually, things in the family start to heat up, and when Bernadette couldn't really take the stress anymore, she decides to disappear. So this is a suspense novel because you don't know what happened to Bernadette, you don't know where she went, you don't know what she decided to do. You don't even know if she might be alive or dead. So Bee, in an attempt to try and find her mother, she's actually able to compile emails and faxes and letters and invoices and a very diverse array of documents from a very diverse array of people in order to really map out what happened to her mother and try to find out where her mother is. I can safely say that so far this is the best book that I've read for the year. This book is absolutely freaking hilarious. If you want some comic relief, go for this book. I laughed throughout it. The writing is so smart and witty and it really adds to the humor. And what I also like about the writing is that it was done in an epistolary style format. As I mentioned earlier, Bee puts together a bunch of letters and emails and faxes and diary entries in order to kind of map out where her mother is. You're reading these documents when you're reading this book, and it was brilliant because the author actually wrote in a way where the narrative of each person is so completely different. You really get a sense of who each and every character is based on the letter or the email that they wrote, and I have to commend Maria Semple because I thought that was brilliant and very well executed. In terms of characters now, I think Bee is one of the most amazing, brave, revolutionary and brilliant young adult female characters that we find in contemporary books. Her love for her mother and her determination to find her mother is just so admirable, and it really puts into perspective, what if our mothers go missing? If my mother goes missing, I will go crazy. Bernadette now, she is basically a very eccentric woman who's in her 50s. She has this tendency to fall asleep, and she wears dark sunshades all the time, and she has a very vague, mysterious past. And the thing about Bernadette is I can't really fully describe her character in words. That is something you need to experience for yourself when reading this book. She is just one of the best fictional mothers. In fact, I think she is the best fictional mother that I've ever read about in all literature. And another thing I love about this book in general is the family aspect. In a lot of young adult books, the books that I generally read, you don't really get that family aspect as much as you would want to, or that relationship between mother, father kind of thing. And I thought that that was explored really well in this novel. Let us talk about the world building for a little bit. This book was set in Seattle, and I felt as though as if I was in Seattle when reading this book. The author does a brilliant job of really letting you feel as though as if you're in Seattle whilst working it into the narrative of this book, and I thought that that was done brilliantly. And also part of it is set in Antarctica, and although Antarctica is not the most intricate or complex of places to describe, I also thought that Maria Semple really did a good job of inducing that Antarctic feeling inside of you whilst you were reading it. And I've never read a book that was set in Antarctica, so this was a fairly new reading experience for me, and that was just a lot of fun. So I'm going to end off by saying that I give this book a solid 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it to anybody who likes mystery, who likes suspense, who likes comedy, who likes family, who likes any kind of book, and you want to read something different and you want to read something fun. I definitely recommend checking this one out. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If any of you have read Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, please let me know in the comments what were your thoughts on it. And if you haven't read Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, please read Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, because this is one of the most amazing pieces of literature that has ever blessed the earth. I may be over-exaggerating, but it's what I do. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all again soon.